Nerf this!
Hey guys, welcome back to Clash with Corey. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, check out the details in my videos when you get a chance. I got a lot of good resources for you in there. Excuse me. We got links to my Discord server if you want to, come hang out with me. We got links to WHF's recruiting Discord server if you're interested in joining the WHF family. We also got links to WHF's live streamers. So if you want to catch some of our WHF Family Wars live, go ahead and give them a follow. You'll get notified when they're streaming, and you can see some of this action as it's happening. With that, let's go ahead and get into this video. And sometimes as a content creator, it can be tough to get a big variety, because you don't always have the attacks, to like a Bowler Witch video. You don't always have enough attacks on your replays to really go through and make one for a Town Hall level. But I'll tell you what, WHF2 really gift wrapped this one for me. I went through the attacks, and this video made itself. They pulled off 4 fresh Bowler Witch 11v11 triples, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. And these attacks are all different. No two of them use the exact same army. They all have, either big differences or subtle differences. So they're all variations of Bowler Witch attacks, but with definitely different approaches and different army compositions, which is the way it should be. If you guys have watched my videos before, I've told you, you don't ever want to use the same exact army for different bases. Every army needs to be tailor-made for a specific base, because no two bases are the same, so why are 2 armies going to be the same? It just doesn't make sense. Every army should be tailor-made for the base that you're attacking. So with that, let's get into Timmy's hit right here. Really, really creative hit. He's going to take advantage of the fact that he's got all this free stuff, all this free space over there. It's not really, there's a few defenses in there, but there's nothing to stop a queen charge or queen walk in that area at all. So he's going to go ahead and take advantage of that. Send in the queen and warden with 4 healers, and just really start getting that area really carved out over there. And then this is going to be kind of like that Queen Walk Vomit attack, I've heard it called, but this one's a lot more precise than that one usually is. Basically, it's just a Queen Walk coming in on one side, and then you got Witches and Bowlers coming down on the other side to kind of cut in the funnel and maybe run down that flank. And then you get a whole bunch of Bowlers going into the core of the base, and, usually your Queen follows that core group in. So he's got basically most of the army down at this point, using a wall wrecker to break through this first few sets of walls in there, and then has jumps to get through the rest. So we got the poison down on the enemy CC, and I'm going to pause right here because this is really creative and it's kind of unusual. He put down a jump right here to. The only reason I can think of doing that is if you wanted this group right here, this Giants, Witches, and Bowlers, to jump back into that core and help with that core push. So really interesting idea, something you could think about using. Doesn't work out this time. Most of those troops just keep walking around. Does have a couple Giants come in. If they get out in front, they might do a little bit. No, they hop right back out. Wow. Great AI there. So anyways, he does have a jump to get through to that eagle compartment and open up most of the rest of that base. In hindsight, if he was doing this again and saw that his troops didn't take that jump, he probably would have liked to have that second jump right in here, getting into that last Inferno tower. But it doesn't really matter. He's got more than enough troops to get this done. Unfortunately, the single locks onto his queen, does take his queen out, but if you look at the rest of the troops going on in here, he gets a healer switch over to a nice group of Bowlers in there. Still has warden on him, doesn't have the ability, but getting the benefit of that health effect there. Got more than enough Bowlers and Witches in the rest of this base to get it done. And still has a few healers running around, healing up, random troops as well. Looks like he brought Valkyries inside the wall wrecker, and you'll see he's got those still running around the outside of this base, really providing some nice tanking out in front of those remaining Witches and Bowlers, along with those couple Giants that he had in there as well, still running around the base, still doing some tanking for those Witches and Bowlers, and that's going to allow them to get the rest of his base cleaned up, no problem. Plenty of troops left to get it done. Beautiful fresh triple by Timmy. I really like the way he carved up that base. Used a queen walk on one side and then carved a nice path first with the wall wrecker and then with the jump, just to really complete the path of the rest of the way around that base, have access to the whole thing, and get it taken out. Nice fresh triple. Now we're going to get into Punisher's fresh triple on number 9. Going to be another Bowler Witch attack, but definitely a way different approach. So this one, I'm sure you guys have seen before. If you looked at, Bowler Witch at Town Hall 11, this has become kind of a standard for some people. I don't believe in standard armies. I've already told you that. But with all these giants out in front, this is a really common army that we're seeing. It's kind of a popular army right now, and there's a reason for that. Those giants out in front really allow those witches to get established, so they're doing a ton of tanking out there. They're tanking for the wall wrecker, they're tanking for the witches, they're tanking for the bowlers. So you notice at this point, most of these witches and bowlers haven't even been touched yet. He hasn't lost any. They haven't even been touched yet. So that's the benefit of putting all those giants out in front. You get a really nice, strong push to start the thing, and you end up with full health bowlers and witches going through the core, going around the sides of the base. They're able to do a lot of good work that way. Now you're going to see, like I said, these are all fresh hits, so they didn't know it was in the CZ, had no way to know. So a Lava Hound is kind of unfortunate, but if you're going to notice, he's got a level 50 queen, which can chew through a Lava Hound a lot faster than even a level 40 queen, and he's got a lot of witches in that core push too, and those witches are able to, help take out the hound, sure, but more importantly, they can be a lot more troops to go ahead and target those minions or lava pups and take those out as well. So, if you're bowler witching into a hound, sending heroes in, it's not as big of a deal as if you're, bringing in a small kill squad at Town Hall 10, because you've got more troops and more resources to get that hound taken care of than you would at Town Hall 10 or with a smaller kill squad. So with that, 2 jumps, accessing the whole rest of this base, accessing that last Inferno compartment, very important to get those Inferno compartments pathed through with your troops on these Bowler Witch attacks. Goes ahead and popped his queen a little bit ago. Queen is going to go down, stuck on a wall, and so this one's going to wrap up. Just looks like we got a witch in the middle. We got a couple bowlers on the other side with another witch. So let's go ahead and speed it up because they're going to take their time cleaning this one up. And that warden too. Wow, that warden's range. He's going to be able to target that wizard tower before that wizard tower can ever even target him. And gets it taken out for the win. Another beautiful fresh triple from Punisher. Now we're going to take a look at Clan Hunter's fresh triple on number 12. Once again, using a Bowler Witch attack, but like I told you, this is going to be a different army composition. So he's got no giants. He's got 2 golems out in front of this Bowler Witch attack. So, golems, giants, it's a matter of opinion. It matters what you're going into. If you're going into a bunch of spread out splash damage or a bunch of spread out defenses, maybe you want that spread of the giants. But if you can, first of all, if you're not going into any single target Infernos right away, and look at this. If you look at the ranges on all these defenses up here can be tanked with these 2 golems. So 2 golems are going to do an excellent job of pulling all these defenses right here. Going to tank for all those defenses. Once again, leaving those witches behind untouched. Gives them a chance to spawn plenty of skellies and, really get this attack established well before those bowlers and witches ever even targeted. And looks like he's got his first jump down now. Looks like the wall wrecker probably get him through a couple of those layers anyways. But sometimes that wall wrecker is pretty slow. I've noticed that sometimes while you're waiting for a wall wrecker to break through a wall, bowlers might have already taken out all the buildings behind it and, might bounce out of the base and walk around. So sometimes, even if you got a wall wrecker still up and if it's moving slow, sometimes you're still going to benefit from having a jump down there. So 2 jumps once again to get through really most of this base. It didn't open up the Inferno compartment, but it opened up the area right next to it. So those bowlers, the witches, the queen, they're all going to have access to that Inferno tower from there. And sure enough, the queen goes ahead and takes it down under rage. She's still got her ability. We got a ton of troops left up on the board and only 2, now 1 point defense left. Obviously, the air defense not going to do anything to any of these troops, but it went down anyways. And this base is wrecked. This base is wrecked hard. Not even close. Look at all these skelly. Yeah, there's a ton of troops left. Queen still has ability. She's not going to need it, and she's not even going to need to break out of this base. It's already done. Beautiful fresh triple from Clan Hunter there. So we're seeing some variation in attacks. We saw a queen walk into a kind of a Bowler Witch. We've seen a giant Bowler Witch attack. Now we've seen a golem Bowler Witch attack. Now we're going to take a look at Lincoln Log's fresh triple on number 15. Definitely a lower weight Town Hall 11 here, maybe like one of the tier 1s or something. But, you know, it goes a long way to showing the variety here. You look, he already put down a Golem. He's got one Golem for this side. We've got some really high hit point defenses over here with this double cannon. Excuse me for that. Still a little sick. Trying to get rid of this cough. Pneumonia sucks, by the way. And so we got a lot of high hit point, or it's not high hit point, but high DPS defenses over here. Gonna do a lot of damage. They would have probably roasted through some giants really fast. So he throws a level 7 Golem down on this side. Not as many defenses over here, so instead of committing the camp space to bring another Golem, he brings 4 giants for this other side to help out over here. So a really interesting way how he splits between a Golem on one side and a few giants on the other. And does the same thing we were talking about before. Really provides that layer of protection for those witches, for those bowlers, so they could really establish just a really nice entry into this base without even touching those witches and bowlers. Goes ahead and uses a really early warden ability there. Might have seen something I didn't see. Has the poison down. Once again, we're going into a Lalo CC, so it's going to trip up the queen for a little bit, but the witches are going to get in there and going to be able to help out, get through that quicker, and take out those pups quickly as well. So core push has already moved in. The queen got delayed by that hound, so she's way behind, but those bowlers have already taken out most of this base. Once again, we got a second backside jump that was opening up, or at least, a backside jump that's going to open up the last little portion of that base, including access to that Inferno Tower compartment. So you're going to see, between the wall wrecker and the jumps here, Lincoln Log's able to open up access to pretty much this entire base. And got a ton of troops left. We've got a wizard tower, probably going to put in some work on those witches. But once again, we got a full health queen that still has her ability. We got a nice strong flank of bowlers and witches coming around the right-hand side. And we still got a few witches on the left, too, spawning skellies and trying to break through some walls and get through a storage. But there's just not enough left in this base and not enough defenses to really pose any threat to the troops that were left. Even if it was just the queen at this point with full health and abilities, she could finish it up as well. So let's go and speed it up. So there we have it. 4 fresh triples, all variations of Bowler Witch. And that's kind of leading me to think that that's not a bad option for a fresh hit. Depending on the base. If the base is giving it to you, if it's giving you enough access, you can path through to both Infernos. Definitely not a bad choice for a fresh hit. And definitely one of the... I'm not going to say it's easy. Obviously, there's a lot of skill that goes into cooking up the right army composition and practicing and getting all these down at the right time. So it's not like you're just going to cook one of these armies and triple every Town Hall 11. It's not even close. But if you practice with it, if you study it and get good with it, you can definitely have a lot of success with it. So, and, Timmy, Punisher, Clan Hunter, and Lincoln Log just showed us that with 4 fresh 11v11 triples and their random spin versus buy forever. Excellent work, guys. Thanks for showing us some great attacks. I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Nerf this!